We are going to be recording. All right. So we want to thank you so much for joining us this evening. This is an opportunity for us to really take some time to focus on our businesses as we approach the holidays, and we're thinking about how this whole couple of past years have been kind of crazy for everybody when it comes to building our businesses, reinventing ourselves, making connections, networking. I mean, just a whole gamut of things that we really had to adjust and change. So we are excited to come and spread a little hope and cheer. I was very fortunate to meet David on Clubhouse, and he told me about his vision and dream to impact over 1 billion people with being happy. He is sharing his story and talked about how he's overcome many things, but he still has a heart to want to help others. So when I thought about somebody who could definitely move us forward and really help us to have gratitude and think about ways that we can use what we have to get what we want, he was the first person that I thought of. So I am going to do a quick intro for our great guest who has joined us this evening. I'm so excited. All right. So David Meltzer is the co-founder of Sports One Marketing and formerly served as CEO of the renowned Lee Steinberg Sports and Entertainment Agency, which was the inspiration for the movie Jerry Maguire. David has been recognized by Variety magazine as their Sports Humanitarian of the Year and awarded the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. He is also the executive producer of the Bloomberg and Amazon Prime television series 2 Minute Drill and Office Hours. His life's mission is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. This simple yet powerful mission has led him on an incredible journey to provide one thing: value. And all his content and communication, that's exactly what you'll receive. As part of that mission for the last 20 years, he's been providing free weekly trainings to empower others to be happy. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you all David Meltzer. Thank you so much, David, for being here.
Oh, well, there's nothing more important to me than my mother, as you know, and she was a super mom like you. And the only reason I can't spend more time with you is because I have another super mom downstairs that I promised that I'd be done at a certain time so I could prioritize my non-negotiables. And that was a big change in my life. I have non-negotiables, and I know you have a few questions for me, but I want to start there because this is the story of my mom, and I think it's important for you. My mom raised 6 kids, worked 2 jobs, teacher, filled up turnstiles at convenience stores with greeting cards just so we could eat. We packed our dinners in paper bags in the car and read to each other. All my siblings went to the Ivy Leagues, graduated summa cum laude. I'm the only one that didn't. All 6 of us got scholarships to college, all because my mom empowered us. And so the thing about my mom now that I'm older is that she had only 2 of the 3 things that I've learned over the years. And one is my mom taught us to appreciate everything we have. And that's a superpower from a super mom, because what I realized over the years is when we don't take for granted what other people are wishing for, or even worse is I was a multimillionaire in my 20s, I started to take for granted what I was wishing for. But to get to appreciation and gratitude, when we appreciate what we have, it expands, right? When our homes appreciate, they go up in value. When we appreciate something, we're raising the value of that which we're appreciating. So if you make a practice of appreciation of what you have, you can constantly grow, you'll expand, it'll add value. Now, my mom had that down pat, made us say thank you before we went to bed. And when we wake up, I get paid 7-8 figures to teach people to be grateful. It's kind of silly. Most of the stuff that I teach the biggest CEOs in the world are things that I learned when I was 3 to 5 years old, like asking, saying thank you, being grateful. But when we appreciate and add value, the next step is there's an old saying, the more we give, the more we receive. What people don't realize is when you give something away, when we fill our vessel with appreciation and then give it away, it's how we acknowledge what we have. We actually only then acquire the knowledge of what we have through giving away everything. And this is where most moms stop. They feel they've done their job when they've appreciated everything that they have and given everything to their children, to their families, their health, their wealth, their wisdom, just giving and giving and giving. What I found is we forget one important piece, and that's you can't give what you don't have. So what happens to a lot of moms, especially because they're so giving, is they appreciate what they have and they set themselves up for more. They acknowledge what they have, acquire the knowledge by giving everything away. And then they think that it's not humble or good to ask for more. And so what happens over the years is your vessel shrinks. Instead of when we ask for more in a bigger vessel, we then appreciate more and it grows again. So here my mom's turning 80 years old. She's given away all her health, all her wealth, all her wisdom. And the exact opposite of what she wanted in her life, her children need to take care. We want to, but she can't take care of herself. She has given everything without asking. And she feels somehow that asking was somehow not humble, somehow not aligned. So the number one lesson that I want to teach you is ask. You're only helping everyone that you want to help when you ask for more. Ask for help, ask for more, ask more often. Fill that vessel and then appreciate it, let it grow, and then acknowledge, give it all away, just like you do as moms, just like I've learned to do as a dad. I give it all away. Nothing comes to me like a victim anymore. Nothing is for me anymore where I'm buying stuff I don't need to impress people I don't like. Everything comes through me. And it comes through me because I have faith in one thing. I have faith that there's something bigger than me that's all knowing and all powerful, that cares about me more than I care about my own children. The only difference is I can only do so much for my children because I don't know what I don't know. I'm limited in my capacity, but I'm blessed because I have something that's omniscient, all powerful, that cares about me just as much as I care about my children. And guess what? That means that just as if your children would ask you for something and you would unconditionally give it, so will this source, so will God, so will your faith. And so when failure, setback, mistakes, pain come into your life, why do we automatically think we're being punished? Why do we create more resistance, void, shortages, and obstacles? Because we have pain, struggles, shortage, voidage, obstacles in our life. When if I was, and I see your beautiful baby there, if she would reach out and put her hand to the fire, to put her hand in the fire, and you would slap that hand and scream at her and say, no, in her mind, she would say, I'm being punished. No, you're not. You're being protected and promoted. We just don't know what we don't know, just like a 3-year-old doesn't even know that fire will hurt them. We don't know that this relationship will hurt us. We don't know that this job will hurt us. We don't know that this business opportunity will hurt us. The same as sticking our, and so we have to identify the pain, the struggle, the setbacks, the failures as an indicator that we're being promoted and protected. And in order to do that, in order to live with appreciation, acknowledgement, and ask, you got to have faith. You have to have faith. There's something bigger than you that cares about you as much as you care, or if not more than you care about your children, except for it's all knowing. So it even has a better statistical success at telling you not to put your hand in the fire, even though you can't see it, even though you have no idea that that's fire over there and it's going to burn you and hurt you. You're being protected and promoted. And so what I want you to think about this holiday season is not necessarily the season of giving, but it's the season of appreciation. It's a season of acknowledgement, acquiring the knowledge of what you have. And then it's the season of asking. It's the season of asking for more of what you want. And when you ask with faith that there's more than enough of everyone for everybody, everything, you'll ask with that faith and know that some of that's for you to come through you for others. You can't give what you don't have. I want you to change your paradigm of perspective to I need to receive so I can give, not I want to give to receive. There's no trade or negotiation in giving. It is a matter of abundance. It is a matter of living between limitlessness and infinity. To understand you don't live in a world of not enough. You are not a victim. Nothing's happened to you. There's no blame, shame, and justification. You don't have to live in a world of just enough, buying things to keep up with other people, to impress people you don't like, to think it'll make you happy, different things, more things, other things. It ain't going to happen. But if you live in a world of more than enough abundance with complete faith, I promise you there's enough of everything for everyone. Now you're talking to someone who lived both worlds and now lives in the third world. I made over $100 million by the time I was 30. I lost it all by the time I was 36 and made it all back again, shifting the paradigm, one simple paradigm. I had only one currency in my life when I was rich the first time. That's called money, an object of energy that I put into the flow to get what I wanted. I thought it would buy me happiness. I thought it would buy me love, but it doesn't. The currency that I believe in is the currency called faith, the object of energy that I put into the flow to get what I want. And when you reconcile the money, that currency, with faith, the other currency, you'll start to realize, acknowledge, and appreciate and ask for even more of everything that you want. You are happy already. You are healthy already. You are wealthy already. You are worthy already, because you are connected to and through the greatest, all-powerful, all-knowing source that ever existed. You are happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. Now let's figure out what you're doing to interfere with it. You don't got to go get it. Don't got to go get happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. Let's figure out what you're doing to interfere, because I can see by your faces, you all know what you're connected to. You might be afraid of the light. You might be afraid of the lessons. You might be afraid of the love, but you are capable of allowing it to come through you. I promise you, you control your mindset, you control your heart set, and you control your hand set. So let's take control and have the right mindset, the right heart set, and the right hand set, and let's everything that you want and desire come through you for others. I wanted to give you that to start, and happy to answer any questions.
I love that. And I think the question I have is, you have done so well with managing your time, your non-negotiables, your priorities. So when you are in that transition mode, as many of us that may be on this call are working to get to that point, establishing those boundaries, what would you say is the first place we should begin, in navigating through relationships, other people's expectations, and things like that?
I created 5 simple daily practices, and these are daily practices. That means that I'm still practicing myself. And the first step in the daily practices is different than what most people think. I take inventory of my what every day. I simply ask myself today, taking into consideration my short term, my intermediate term, my long-term objectives, what do I want today personally? Those non-negotiables, I spend a minimum amount of time every day on my health, an hour first. That changed, right? When I asked my wife, when I made all the money back, I said, what can I buy you, honey? What can I do for you? You are my rock. You're my savior. I wouldn't be here alive today if you didn't set my ass straight and tell me exactly what I was, the only honest person in my life. I was only taking yes for an answer, and you saved me. What can I do for you? And she said, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody. And I want you to be around. So I have the non-negotiable of health in my personal what. My family is second. And I'll tell you this, as moms, I spend a minimum of 30 minutes a day with my wife every day, a minimum of 30 minutes with my son, who's 11, every day. Minimum, and you'll get this, ladies, 2 minutes a day with my 3 teenage daughters. I asked for 5, they gave me 2. But my mom, the best thing I've ever done in my relationship with my mom is I give her a minimum of 1 minute a day. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but I promise you a minute a day is worth more than an hour on a weekend, and it's minimum. But I only tell my mom 4 things every day. Mom, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I love you and I appreciate you, because that's all she really wants from me. She wants me to be happy, healthy. She wants my love unconditionally and to know that she adds value to me, to my life. I then go and use time as the next one. Personally, I want to be as active as possible. I want to be efficient, effective, statistically successful. I want to be productive. I want to provide as much value as I can and be accessible to ladies like you at 6 p.m. when my family's waiting, and be able to access what I want. And I especially want to be grateful. I want to be able to find the light, the love, and the lessons where nobody else can find it except for that source. I want to challenge myself to seek and bring love to resentment, to offense, to separation, to anxiety and fear. I want to bring love, light, and lessons to all of the things that create the interference between me and what I already am: happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. You need to know your what every day, personally, experientially, giving and receiving. And if you know your what, then you need to know your who. Who can I help with what I want, and who can help me? And once you know the what and the who, then you can use time to determine your how. I study time, activity I get paid for, activity I don't get paid for, and even my sleep. I know there's only 4 needs, and if I focus in on those 4 needs, everything else will come to me. So nutrition is number 1. You need nutrition to live. It's a need. And not just food, it's ideas and people. 80% of the time on this earth is spent with people that believe you, with ideas that bleed you, with food that believes you, bleeds you. The 80% of your time is spent on dis-ease, not ease. And what I want you to think about is take all of the resources that you spend in that disease and move it over to things that feed you, the nutrients that you want, the ideas, the people, the love, all the different things that feed you. Let's focus on that. And then you can focus in on all the other things that you do with your time to be grateful, productive, and accessible. If you know your how, you then can do what the most successful people do, and that's prioritize. Most people don't know what to do, let alone what to do next. They don't know how to make a quick decision because they don't. If you know your what, your who, and your how, I promise you, anything that arises in your life, you'll have the answer for immediately, because you can just look at your values and say, that's not what I want today. That's not what I want today. No. Oh, that is what I want today. Yes. And I'm going to do it now, because 100% of the things you do now. The difference is if you know your what, your who, your how, and your now, you know how to prioritize by what's important to you, not what's important to other people, not what's important or what's missing in your life, not what you don't want. You pay attention to and you give intention to what you want. Those coincidences will happen. It's the mathematical equation of luck. Pay attention to what you want, give intention to it, think it, say it, do it, believe it. Even know your personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions. Guide all those things towards what you want. And when you pay attention to and give intention to the coincidences that you want, that's exactly what happens, and people will call you lucky. You know your what, your who, your how, and your now. You learn to apply your why. You're not in search of a why. You know that you're connected to and through this great source, this great power, an unlimited amount of power, an abundant amount of power. There's nothing stronger than a mom. Let that light be liberated through you for others to inspire and empower them the same way that you are inspired and empowered. Don't be ashamed. Don't be in an ego-based anxiety of worry, fear, emotion, when you can just receive all the gifts that you've been given and give them all away. Apply your why. Don't go in search of it. Know your what, your who, your how, and your now, and apply your why. You'll utilize time with efficiency, effectiveness, and statistical success when you know what you want. Fastest way to get there is find someone that's already there and ask them for directions, the who you can help and who can help you, and then practice. These are practices. Forgive yourself when you fail. Forgive yourself when you're trying and you don't achieve what you think you can. There's 3 things that I teach my kids are the same 3 things my mom used to say to me. She always asked me 3 questions when I came off the ball field, when I got done with the test, when I graduated law school and business school and college and all the things that I did. She said, son, did you do your best? Did you learn anything? And did you have fun? Do your best, learn things, and have fun. It's that simple. And when you don't, learn from it again and try to do your best the next time. I promise you, that's what fulfillment is. And the more you have, the more you'll give.
I love that. Now, two more questions. The first one, this is this book that everybody's going to get, Connected to Goodness. What do you want us to get from this book?
Yeah, I want you to get the process of getting what you want. I use the word manifestation. It's a little woo-woo, but basically manifesting is materializing what you want. And I'm going to teach you right now. It'll go into detail. Number one, I want people to ask, wish, and dream. See, when you don't know what you want, when you don't know, it's nothing, no thing. The minute you dream about what you want, it becomes a possibility, a mathematical advantage over everyone else that's not dreaming, wishing, or asking. The minute I say, oh yeah, I want a chocolate covered fried Snicker bar, boom, that's a possibility in my life. And so many people won't even take the first step of learning how to imagine, create, allow themselves to ask because they think it's not humble. It's the most radically humble thing you can do is to ask for help. Here's my favorite thing about moms. This is incredible. Moms never feel better than when they're doing for their family, giving to their family. There's no better feeling. But yet, somehow, when a mom has to ask somebody else to help her or to give her, somehow she doesn't think that person that is helping her or giving to her would feel the same way as when she's helping and giving to her children. Give the other person a blessing. Give them an opportunity to be respected and elevated and needed and all the things that we love. So please take those dreams and make them a possibility by asking the universe for them. Ask your parent. Ask whoever it is. Ask. Now, how do we make the possibility, which is a mathematical advantage over nothingness, into a probability? So in the book, I teach you how to clear that interference so you're inspired. See, people get confused about motivation and inspiration. Motivation is fear-based. Fear will motivate you. Anxiety, fear, these things but they'll suck your soul dry. But what they will do for you, it'll get you up, it'll get you back up, it'll get you started, it'll get you back started, but it ain't going to get you there. Inspiration is going to get you there. So if you have an idea and you become inspired, you now have another mathematical advantage in life. You've gone from a possibility to a probability just by being inspired, just by clearing balance and focus on what you want. And you feel that feeling, I can do this. I have a desire that I must be what I can be. I want to enjoy the consistent, everyday, persistent without quit pursuit of my own potential, not what other people want for me or think I can do, not for what I don't want or what's missing. I tell a story about Jeff Bezos 25 years ago. I had more money than Jeff Bezos 25 years ago. I was more successful, more well-known, and had more connections than him. If I would have met him in his garage 25 years ago and he told me, Dave, I'm going to be a trillionaire. I'm selling these books out of my garage. I'm going to be the richest man on earth. And someday you're going to dream about having as much as I have. Mm-hmm. I would have laughed at him, scoffed at him, and made fun of him the same way that Dave laughed at me, scoffed at me, and made fun of me. Mm-hmm. We can't listen to what other people think. Nobody knows the abundance that you know. Nobody knows your limitations, which are none. You live between limitlessness and infinity, remember? So you want to create every possibility, become inspired, no matter what anybody else thinks, and make it a probability. Now, in the book, the last step that I teach is real pragmatic life, right? Transcending the speed of thought into the speed of light, man-made construct of 24 hours a day. So that requires strategy. And I give you those strategies. It requires discipline. There's nothing I could bless you more with than consistent behavior, because behavior aggregates on itself. Positive behavior aggregates on itself, but we expect it to happen faster, the result. Negative behavior aggregates on itself, but we never expect a bad result. Both have the disadvantage that it takes about 90% of the aggregation just to see a result. So in other words, with positive behavior, most people quit before they see the result. And with negative behavior, most people quit before it's too late to quit because they don't see a result and they don't expect it. So I teach you to have the strategy, the discipline, which will elevate your awareness to make things easier to you. We can only be aware of that which vibrates equal to or less than you. I'm going to teach you to elevate your vibration from the earth to the plants, to the animals, to the humans, to sound, to light, to thought. I'm going to teach you the highest vibration, the truth, your potential. And when I elevate your vibration through the strategy and discipline, that probability has another mathematical step called perspective. And your perspective is your reality. This is the manifestation process. This is the materialization of your imagination into the real world. The people who have more than enough, the people that live in more than enough, the people that can't even imagine what it's like to make 100 million or a billion or even $1 trillion, those people that know understand, I got to think about what I want and make it a possibility. I need to be inspired to must be what I can be to make it a probability. And I have to use consistent, persistent pursuit, strategy, discipline, and awareness to make it my reality. That's what Connected to Goodness will teach you, a formulatic, step-by-step mechanism to manifest or to get what you want.
Love that. Michelle, you had a question. We got like 2 minutes. So go ahead and ask your question. You had it in the chat. Oh, okay. He answered it.
Thank you. It was awesome. Yeah, no, I was sitting and he answered it. It was like everything that he said. So what a blessing.
Mm-hmm. Well, at this time, we'll just give you a few minutes to say any final words, David. I know your time is precious. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you all. And I wish I had more time. I will come back. I will do anything for the super moms in the world. My mom means everything to me. I can barely say her name without choking up. If you need help asking, you want to, anything I can do. I have a 5:20 rule. I'll give 5 minutes to anyone to help them. Whatever it takes, I always have 5 minutes. So email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I have other guides and templates and books. I will send them to you. I'll sign them for you if you like. I'll pay for the books and shipping, whatever you need. But if you don't ask, I won't know. And hopefully, if you have one takeaway, which is probably redundant to tell this to mothers, but I have my favorite saying as I leave: be kind to your future self and do good deeds. I love you all, appreciate you all. I always say to my mom, thank you for your service. I know there's no more difficult, challenging job in the world, but no more important job in the world as well. Bless you all. Have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you so much, David. All right. Have a great holiday. Thank you. All right, guys.